Hey there, and welcome back to another Turf Lab video. Today, we're going to talk about how to fix dead spots in your lawn. I know right now a lot of people are getting out into their lawns and maybe they have some dead spots from where their dog pees, or maybe they just have some areas that they want to get some grass growing in. So I'm going to walk through my quick, simple steps and what I do to get grass growing fast. So the first thing I do is I use this little cultivator that I got from Lowe's, or you could use a metal garden rake. But what we need to do is really rake up this soil so that the soil is a little bit loose and can freely cover the grass seed. What we don't want to do here is just sprinkle grass seed in this spot because it has no protection and it also does not have seed to soil contact. So let me show you how I do this. All right. So now we've gotten most of this dead grass out of there and you can see the soil in this hole. So now it's going to be the perfect time to move on to our next step. All right. So I do have my seed in this spreader here. I'm not going to use this because obviously it's just a small spot. But what you want to do then is just take some seed and gently put it over the soil that's exposed. And it does not have to be perfect. Just make sure that there's plenty of seed in there so that you'll get some great growth. All right, and the next step, we got to make sure that our seed gets tucked into the soil. So I take my same rake, or if you have a different rake, that's fine as well. But you just want to gently roll over your seed so that your seed is slowly getting mixed in and underneath the soil. So now just looking at it after I've moved it around, I can barely see any seed. There's a couple that are exposed, but the rest have now been covered by the dirt that I've reworked over it. So after my seed is worked in under the soil, I always just gently press it down. And that just really helps make sure that that seed to soil contact happens, because without that, none of your seed is going to grow. So that's the most important part. And then we have two options here. So we can put some peat moss down, and that's really going to help our seed just retain moisture. Or we can use straw, which is just going to kind of protect our seed from birds and anything else that wants to eat it. So two options here. We can even use both. For a small spot like this, I would generally just put a little bit of peat moss on there and call it good. And when we do peat moss, if you've used peat moss before, you know it's a little bit hard to spread, but you just want to gently do a little bit layer on top of your seed. Just like that. And then again, I'll step on it lightly just to pack it on. All right, so now let's talk watery. So one of the bigger reasons why I love peat moss is that it changes color when it's moist. So when it's dry, it just looks like this really light gray. And when it's wet, it's a very distinct dark color. And so especially when you're trying to grow seed, you want to make sure that that seed has moisture for at least the first week until you start to see germination. And that's the most important thing. And so when we're watering, generally I will water this spot probably 3 times a day. So I'll usually do it in the morning, the afternoon, and then around supper time. But really, I just want to be checking on it to make sure that it's moist. And so once I start to see germination, then I will back off my watering a little bit, and I'll cut back to twice a day. And once it gets a little bit longer, and it looks like all the growth is really just going, then I'll just let my normal irrigation water it. As far as when you're going to see results, just remember it depends on the grass seed that you're using. My turf type tall fescue seed usually is about 5 days before I'll see germination, but depending on the seed you use, if you have a bluegrass, it could take longer. If this video was helpful, please hit the subscribe button and check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.